Ready? Yeah, so we're gonna diagnostic many different ways how to fix the trunk that won't close, the latch that won't close. So I fixed it already, but I just want to make a quick video to explain to people what's the different diagnostic. The number one is this. This when you look, when you close from here. As you can see, I damaged this. I damaged this because I hit it like I thought I'm gonna close, but what I did actually, can you come closer please? What I did actually, I bent this to the side, and then I took a bar to straighten it back, and especially when these are loose a little bit after a little while. So you bent it, automatically you bent it. So you gotta straighten it back. You make like a mark with a whatever marker or something white you measure from here to here, or you measure with this, the cover, if you have the cover, you didn't take it off yet. You see the holes here lined up. Lined up here. When you put the holes lined up in here, then you get a better idea of how to center. Right here. You can come right now. So come here, please. So you see that? Line up here, and then you see the center. There is like a curve in here that show you the center. Or if you don't have this, you just measure here, and the center, and you put a mark in here to see where is the center. If this is centered, you put some white paint in here. This is dry now, but when it's fresh, you hit it like here, and it's gonna mark in here where it's hitting it. Okay? So you have bent it. First option. Second option, when I hit it, I damaged that part. You can see here, because it was going too far. Basically, this was going too far. What I did, I put a washer in the bottom board. Come close, please. See that bottom part? I painted because I got a lot of rust. But there is a washer right here, if you can see it. This one, I put a washer in the bottom to make the nose coming up more, and then this will come more like this, and it's gonna be more lined up in the center than in the front. Here you can put washers too. If when you paint in here, the mark is in the wrong spot, then you can put some washer to push it also a little bit more front, which will make it a little coming basically like more front or more back. Washers here, but I put just one in the bottom for my case because I wanted to make going up. Okay, so this might be too down, this might be too up, and bent it when you close it too many times. Okay, so now the second diagnostic, the third or whatever diagnostic you can do. Look, you see that? I painted. I shouldn't paint. I should paint after I show you. But anyway, see that spring right here? So you pull this. That's the lock position. When you lock position, this hook to here. Oops. So unlock it with the handle or with the keys or with the handle, the cable from the front. But this spring, you have to make sure it is still here, because when you hit hard like I did also, it ends up like this. Mine, it was like this. So I figured out that this was not, see? I'm sorry. See? So this, when I hit it so hard and I bent that earlier, the bottom earlier, I figured out that this was out. I'm lucky I didn't lose it. So this spring is important to put it back on and check if it works. If this and this works, the mechanism is okay. Then there is maybe a problem in the cable or something else. Okay, so this is the first thing. Spring here, and try with the handle. So another thing I want to show you, sometimes also this come out. Like, let me show you. If this come out from his room, the cable. This is the cable that comes from the beside the seat, front seat. See, if this come out, it might be also a problem that you gotta check. Put it back on. Double check actually if it's not out of his room, and put it back like I'm gonna do right now. Put it back with the fingers and then put it down, and then clips it back. So this is also a thing that you gotta check for the cable, if the cable is not working properly. Okay, this I took it off. I dismount this goes in here and clips to this. And I want to show you something else. You gotta first, to see if this working normally, you gotta check one spring for this one, like I showed you earlier. You push like this, and then you unlock it like this. Lock, unlock, lock, unlock. This is spring number 1. This is spring number 2. Spring number 2, this one is for the key to unlock it. When you turn the key, that's from the key, the blade in here comes from the key. So when you turn the key, it unlocks it. Lock, unlock, okay? And the third one is the cable beside the chair. So there is the third spring. Is there a third spring or not? Yes, right here. That's from the handle, I'm sorry. That's from the handle. It's from the handle, it's the third spring. If you have all those 3 springs, your mechanism is good. And you have to look the picture in here, focus on that picture. If the picture is like this, you have nothing missing, so you don't have to buy another one from the junkyard or new. So those 3 springs, 1, 2, and 3. For the handle, for the key, let me lock it again. Lock, and key unlock, lock, handle unlock, and cable unlock is the same spring like the one that comes from the key, but it pushes a different way. Instead of cable is hooked to the same that the key, that the part that the key hold it, pull it, and it pulls the same way, but with a different it's coming from a different way from here instead of from here. Anyway, the other thing I wanna say is that, so this comes here, and the problem that I found is my cable was not working sometimes, and I figured out that this sometimes come out of his room. And when it comes out of his room, the cable does not work sometimes, and sometimes when he's in his room, it's working. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to zip tight this a little loose together, and I'll let you know if it works. Zip tight it with a small, very small zip tight to not bother the mechanism, and I zip tight it on the top because the hole was in the bottom. That make it loose and come out of his room sometimes. So I zip tight it on the top, and now it's tied to the top. It shouldn't go nowhere. It will be always sticking here, and the spring will do his job. You know, if you pull it, it will work correctly without going back out of his room like he used to. Now, no way you can get out. This you put it back, of course. Now I'm gonna put back everything in here. I'm gonna cut this and turn it on the side where it doesn't bother it doesn't touch anywhere. Cut this and turn it, and that's it. And put it back on, and but without washers, because the washers you only put them to straighten up, and see if it's lined up with this, with the bottom, and we're gonna try it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so another thing I want to tell you, I took off because I put some washers earlier here, following another video that I saw earlier, and actually apparently I needed just some washers in the bottom, like I said, to lift it a little more. And now that I took off the washers, when I close the trunk, it's super easier. So I'm gonna be let me show you. Close it super easy. So that's what I'm gonna. That's why I took off the washers, and it should be now good to go. If you want so. Okay. So conclusion. This, when you hit too hard, you might bend it. Straighten it up back with something like this. That's what I did, you know. You push it like this, or you push it like this. See, you can straighten it up. Make a marker to get the center. This is number 1, especially when you try to hit it, close it. Especially when you try to close it many times, like you see, I damaged this, the plastic right here. Where is it? Yeah, right here. I'm sorry. See, it's because of hitting so hard, trying to close it, forcing it, you know. So this might wear out, and this might bend. This is number 1. Center, straight it with a bar or something, with the creek or whatever you have. Number 2, you have to hear the noise smooth. When you close it smooth. If it closes smooth, like this, you see, it means it's lined up. If you hear a noise, it's too tight, means on the left or on the right. How to know if it's too much on the right or on the left? Take some paint, liquid, sticky a little bit, and bright. You put it here in the center, and clean everything here. And the bright color, when you close it really smooth, you don't have to close it, just make it down to see where it touches. Based on where it touches, you might put some washers here, or here, or here, or here. And that's what make modify the part where it touches, and then he lines it up When it lines it up, you're good to go. And of course, you check all the springs that I showed you earlier to make sure that the mechanism didn't bump some springs from when you close it too hard. That's it. Thank you very much, and have a good day, guys.